As we said before, Jupyter provided several ways to perform test cases by conditional, and we already learned how to about the assumptions statement and tending filtering ways. In this lectures, we will learn the third approach. We can implement a conditional perform test cases by customer execution condition interface. Actually, this is an extension of Jupyter. Complies the tagging and the assumption. This way, more programmatical. In this lecture, I'm not planning demo how to write and development the execution conditional. Actually, this interface is pretty easy and pretty simple to implement. Our demo all of the execution condition built in Jupyter. Of course, you can implement execution condition by yourself for exercise. All right, let's create an example test case for how to use Jupyter built-in execution condition. Jupyter condition execution test. Well, okay, we can delete public modifier. Display name. Keeps this is the best practice. Trust me. Example of Jupyter built in conditional. All right. As this diagram shows, so we can see totally existing 30 built-in conditional, and we will demo all of them in this test class. What disabled when JDK 16? Sometimes you wanted to skip or exclude some test case perform or execution. You can use this conditional to do that. Um, in Jupyter, actually help us to help developer build in some defined annotation. We can use it directly. Disabled, you can see it's on GRE, Java Runtime Environment. Values, we can set GRE. Yeah, 60. And you can also give the disable reason disabled due to JDK 60. Okay, it's a pretty simple, right? And we also can enable only JDK 16. Enabled, enabled, and enabled GRE. You can see the well, enable the disable reasons. We no need this reason. Also, you can print the JDK warning for verify that system.get property warning. All right, and also we can dis enable or disable for the JDK warning range. For example, the would enable when JDK a matched range test and enable on GRE and sorry, enabled for GRE range. This is the and the contains the um two variable. First is the minor and the max. The minor start from the JDK 8. Okay. Minor we can set the GRE 9 and the max GRE. If you environment JDK version between 9 and 17 will be execution this test case. All right. Of course, we can disable during the JDK matched some special range. Disable. Okay. Disabled on jury. Disable the jury range for jury range. All right. And besides the JDK version, we can choose the OS operation system, um, like the Windows or a Mac and Linux. Yes. What enable on Windows? We type the test and enable on OS. You can say OS does the choice. Sorry, OS. Right. Windows. Yeah. Of course, you can disable a Windows execution. Disable. Enabled OS. Okay. And we can verify the when some system variable existing, we execution our test case. it, uh, it's supported by Jupyter. What enabled if environment contains maven home, for example, maven home test enabled. You can see if environment variable. You can special the variable name m2 home, and also you can special named. Sorry, you can special the match. You want match anything, right? And of course, we can get the we can check the verify the system property. Enabled if system property test. Okay. Enabled. You can see system property named env and match. We wanted to execute at DV environment, right? Also, we can add the property and our life cycle method, like the set up before each, and system get properties put that UV DV, right? Okay, let's execute this test class. We can verify the execution result and our test case by simple. First is the disable when GDK 16 that will be skipped because our GDK version is 16, and enabled on enabled when GDK 16. This will be execution, and this will be execution. You can see it's yeah, and this will be exclude or skipped, and this will be execution on Windows, and this will be is skipped. And enable if environment contains memory home. Yeah, of course, you can see this test case will be execution. And system enable if system property existing and value is the DV, right? Is execution, right? Besides this way, so we can customer condition by very simple way, but in not this way is not through implement the ex execution condition interface. We can just we just write uh, the simple method that return a bool type bool custom condition. We can simple return the bool true. All right. And what custom import if test enabled if. Okay, and copy the name, right? Method name and execution this test method. You can find um, this test case will be execution and include because this method return always true, right? Okay, and if you change the result to false, return value to false, this test method will be skipped at ignore. As you can see, condition provided is false, right? Okay, so far I think we already demonstrated all of the built-in execution conditional by Jupyter. And I suggest you experiment by execution condition interface to more similar the the Jupyter API. All right, see you next lecture.